Welcome back. The Trump administration is hoping its tariffs and growing trade war will bring a manufacturing boom in the U.S. And while the industry is expected to add 3.8 million new jobs by 2033, a report last year found about half of those jobs will go unfilled. Last week, I spoke with Jay Timmons, the CEO of the National Association of Manufacturers, about why there are so many vacancies now.
That's an average over the last several years, about 500,000 open jobs. A lot of that is because the image of manufacturing sometimes is perhaps folks are thinking about what manufacturing was like back in their grandparents' days or their parents' days. It's very different now. It's very sleek, technology-driven. It's a fun and exciting career.
A recent article, though, in Business Insider explores the dip in U.S. manufacturing over the last few decades and digs deeper into that question of why more Americans are not interested in this as a career. The author of that article is with us now. Emily Stewart is here in Studio 57. She's a senior correspondent at Business Insider. So, Emily, what do you make of that description from Jay? Why do we have hundreds of thousands of manufacturing vacancies? Is it an image problem?
And part of it's an image problem. I do think kind of to start off, we have to understand we have an aging workforce right now. We've seen kind of a decline in immigration, the people who might take those jobs. And then, yes, we have seen workers sort of gravitate towards the services sector. And I don't just mean hospitality. I also mean tech and healthcare. And so there is a sort of image problem. And I think there's also just a reality problem. We know that historically, maybe we like to think of manufacturing jobs kind of the 1950s. You get a job at GM, you work there for 30 years, you retire, you have a great pension. It doesn't exist necessarily anymore. We know that wages are not as good as just the average wages in general. And so you have kind of younger people looking around and saying, I don't know if I want to do this job. This maybe isn't for me for a variety of reasons. They also don't necessarily have the skills to take on those jobs.
It's an interesting point you make about there being a generational problem. I mean, the idea that you will work anywhere for more than a decade for, I think, Gen X, Gen Z, millennials, doesn't exist. What would it take then to attract more Americans to this type of work?
I think there are a lot of things. We obviously need skills and training. There is a skills gap, certainly. You kind of need to push younger people into these jobs. We also need to make sure that they are good jobs.
And what does that mean?
That means a job where it's well paid. That means there's a job where there is a union that will provide you better pay and benefits. We know that unionization rates in the U.S. have been on the decline overall over the past several decades. And so we need those jobs to be good. And I think also, when you think about why manufacturing jobs have been lost, a lot of it is obviously outsourcing, but a lot of it's technology and automation. And if exists in the world today, all you hear about is AI is coming for the jobs. And so we kind of have to ask ourselves, even if this is a job today, is this a job with a future when the word on everybody's mouth is AI and tech and automation?
And in our last few moments about that future, President Trump says the reason he's taking on this tariff approach is so that U.S. manufacturing will build and boom in the years ahead. But even that would take, what, many years, right?
Yeah, it would take a very long time. And I think it would, when you talk to economists, they say you really want a more tailored, focused approach. What industries do you want back and why? Do you want semiconductors or do you want garment industry, right? Like they're very different things. And again, this would take a long time, like you said, and also with so much chaos kind of going on right now around tariffs, it's hard for anybody to plan for next week, let alone in 10 years from now.
Very interesting point. The world is changing. Emily Stewart, great to have you here.
Thanks
for being with us.